Well, hello there. Welcome to the first episode. Episode 1 of BellTap Wrestling.
Episode 1.
This is a
Consider
video
this-
podcast.
Consider this our whatever the first NXT takeover was. I think it was like Unstoppable, something like that. But we are here, and we are the best goddamn uncle and nephew WWE wrestling podcast in the world. No one will do a thing about it.
All right. We need to calm down a little bit, I think. This is an uncle-nephew podcast, and I am really excited about it. Now, to be fair, I don't know that there are any other ones in the world. I'm happy with it, though. So we're gonna give it our best shot here. Here's what the deal is. We are family. We are in for the same love of wrestling. That's what we're here for. So we're going to talk about all of that, Mike.
We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to talk about Smackdown. We're going to talk about NXT. We're going to talk about the pay-per-views, our opinions, predictions, breaking news, which will be very juicy indeed.
You're so far off to the side. You should move over so that we can see all of your hair. There you go. Why is your hair so high?
What?
Why is your hair up so high?
I bumped my head looking for my headphones.
Okay, perfect. So my name's Joe. His name is Michael. I am his uncle, and it's fun. We're gonna have a great time. Why don't we get started and get right into it and start talking about this past Monday night's Raw? Happened on October 22nd, 2018, Providence, Rhode Island. And you're talking what?
My bad. I thought you were gonna say that.
You're fine, man.
I literally just said, yeah, let's talk about this past Monday Night Raw.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Roman Reigns and Leukemia. Not a good match. That is not a good match.
Not a good match. Nobody in leukemia, cancer of any kind is a good match. You and I both have personal experience losing somebody to cancer, and it absolutely sucks. And there's no other way to put it. It's a shame. It's unfortunate, and we really hope that Roman makes his way through this and comes back in a timely manner.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think that'll be the case because I just read something on Bleacher Report saying that he might be out for 3 to 4 years.
That's very possible, depending on how aggressive it is. So, we opened up a show with him coming out, and everybody boos him and everything, and then he made it real. And he made it real very, very quickly in the ring when he said, it's my name. But my real name is Joe, and I've been living with leukemia for 11 years. And that crowd got very silent. Very, very silent.
And I love how he's never shown that he's had leukemia for the past, 6 years? They've been in WWE The Shield?
Yeah, we had no idea. Nobody that I know of knew that he had been living with this. Well, it was gone. It was in remission, and unfortunately, it's come back. We certainly wish him well.
Considering we live in a world full of internet trolls and spoilers on the internet, they did a pretty good job with keeping the whole leukemia thing under wraps.
They did.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it that I know of. Look, here's the thing. Like I said, it got all quiet. He came out on stage. He had that deep breath. You could tell. Looking back, you could tell that he had something heavy on his mind. And what could he possibly have been thinking when he was walking down that aisle about what I am about to say to all these people?
I think he could have been thinking one of two things. One, this is very heartbreaking and very distraught for me, and it's just awful. Or two, I'm proud that I'm coming out knowing that I'm going to be back and better than ever. And he said it himself. It's not a retirement speech. So I think we should be expecting big things from him when he comes back.
I truly hope so. Probably a combination of both is what he was thinking in his mind. And the fans there took them by surprise. You had people crying in the stands. And like I said, it got very quiet. And then the thank you Roman chants began. All these years, everybody's shitting on Roman Reigns. And all of a sudden, they forgot about all of that. Like we said, it became very, very real. He said his real name. This is what my issue is. And people forgot that they hate the character. The character that's been shoved down our throats for how many years now?
He's literally like becoming the new John Cena. But literally the only thing that's wrong with him is his promos kind of get stale at times. Like he's a great athlete. He's a great wrestler. He always puts on good matches. But just when he gets the mic in his hands, he's just a little...
He's dry.
He's dry.
It is.
Yeah.
So he finishes up. He can no longer be the Universal Champion. I almost said the World Heavyweight Champion. That would have been wrong. He can no longer be the Universal Champion. He said he cannot live up to the obligation, and he had to relinquish the title, and did so by laying it in the middle of the ring and walking out up that ramp. And who joins him on the stage?
We have Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins is literally like bawling with tears, and you can kind of tell that Ambrose is trying to hold it back.
You could tell that, absolutely, but yeah, it became very, very real. It was a big deal. It was a very big deal, and that's how the segment ended. And then poor Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley, what do they do? They got to follow that now and try to entertain that crowd who has now just been thrown for a loop.
I think Finn and Bobby do a good job of entertaining the crowd. That one thing in the form of Lio Rush. He is so annoying.
Here's my thing about Lio Rush. He's a good hype man. He's actually a pretty good talker. We've seen him in 205 Live. He is an amazing athlete, but that, of course, isn't showing right now on Raw. It did his first couple of weeks on Raw, but not so much anymore. Now he comes out. What does Renee Young keep saying? Why don't you wear a shirt? He's not wearing a shirt. He's just got his blazer on. But, the hype that he gives, it's been done before. Jinder Mahal, the Singh brothers would come out. They would hype Jinder, introduce Jinder. He would come out and they'd walk to the ring, and he'd have his match, and whatever happened would happen. In this case, he hypes up Bobby Lashley, does Lio Rush, and they walk to the ring. He keeps talking. Okay, fine. Ding, ding, ding. The bell rings. Shut your mouth, Leo.
I know, right?
Hear it. It's distracting. It's annoying. And I don't really care about the match anymore, because all I care about is when is he going to stop talking.
That is a whole mood. Because... and especially during the match. I'm trying to focus on the match. I want to see a good-ass match between these two phenomenal athletes. But I can't with just hearing Lashley. It's money.
And you know what? He's not the first person to do this during matches. He's not going to be the last. But if anything from the past history shows, with having it done during the matches, this is not going to last long. It never does last long. It's annoying. It's going to get on Vince's nerves eventually. God, I hope. As for the match, like we said, distracted. So what can you say about it? Roll-up victory for Finn, which is good for Finn. I think he's going to...
Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, he's going to continue on with this feud. They said it themselves on Raw. The feud is more Leo and Finn than it is Lashley and Finn. But it's being fought through Bobby Lashley. And that roll-up is a good victory. It's a good, easy way for a little guy to beat a big guy. And we'll see where it leads. Hopefully Lio Rush shuts up.
Hopefully. And I'm just glad they're not burying Finn Balor anymore.
Let's hope they're pulling him out of that. And then what happened? We have a Sasha Banks sighting.
Sasha Banks. We all thought she was injured, but all of a sudden she comes out.
She may have been injured. I don't know. I haven't heard reports. I'm behind on the reports, if I'm being fair.
Neither have I.
Let's be honest. How long has she been basically irrelevant? This whole thing with Bayley started last year before WrestleMania. I was convinced that we were going to have a WrestleMania match between Bayley and Sasha Banks, whoever the heel was going to be the heel. They were pushing it would be Sasha. It would be Sasha. So I figured it would be Bayley. But in the end, they just kissed and made up. And they have been essentially irrelevant ever since. That bothers you, obviously. Now, here's the deal. Sasha comes out. Ruby Riott comes out for the match. They go to commercial. They come back. And now they're not even focused on that. We go to a backstage segment. Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre.
That's a little...
It's frustrating. It's hard to keep our focus on women.
Confusing, to say the least. Like, weren't they just having a match? Or was it just another one of those, 30-second diva matches?
What's going to come of it? I fast forward through the commercials because I watch it on DVR. I'm not available to watch it live. But I fast forward through the commercials, and I wonder if I accidentally hit it too much and skipped over the match because it was a lengthy backstage promo with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, by the way, I love him. My God, I love him. We'll get to that in a bit, but... So what do? They talk about it a little bit. What happened the prior week with Braun Strowman and the
McIntyre. I love the guy, but I don't know what he's doing. Trying to pick a fight with Braun Strowman. Coming in and Claymore kicking his head off every other week. Why?
Because he wants to be the best. He's decided that Braun is the leak wink, I think. Leak. Wow. The weak link. But so he says that, and he says he's going monster hunting, and he goes looking for Braun Strowman. So we know that's going to come up later on in the night. And then we get back to the ring, and whoa, look at that. There's Sasha Banks and Ruby Riott ready to wrestle. Can you believe it? Pretty good match. These are two outstanding athletes who, personally, I really want to see both of them get put into the championship picture. I think Ruby Riott's a great young talent. I think you just disappeared. Well, Mike disappeared. Okay. So hopefully he'll be back here in a second, but I really want to see them get back into the title picture. Well, Banks back into the title picture and Ruby Riott become a part of the women's title picture. They're both excellent, outstanding talents. Are you back?
I am back.
He is back. Okay. I was trying to stop the recording. So I had a lengthy time of me going.
My bad.
Okay. All I did, I just finished up, man. I just talked about how I would like to see both of them in the women's title. I think they'd be.
Oh, yeah, of course. Especially Ruby Riott. We've seen Sasha Banks and what she could do in the championship picture. I wanted to see what Ruby Riott can do. And, I was a fan of her in her NXT days. I enjoyed the whole rebellious tomboy girl act. Tomboy girl. I just realized what I just said.
Then we see the Brothers of Destruction, a little vignette of them saying a lot about fear, talking about Shawn Michaels' fear of coming out. That's pretty much all they said, as usual. That's pretty much all they said. Rest in peace. Yet, probably got the biggest pop.
Yeah.
And what happens right after that? DX. DX comes out. Great pop for them. They start talking about, what do they start talking about? They start talking about the X. What does it mean? Does it mean old? What does it mean? And Triple H points to that shirt that Shawn Michaels is wearing, and he says it means we run this. Is basically what it means. We run the show. And then Shawn Michaels says there's something else with an X, referring to NXT. We run that too.
I love that he mentioned that. There's something else with an X, and that's NXT. And we run that too.
It's obvious they run that too because it's really the only good show that's on there right now. I mean, I like some of the things that are happening on Raw and SmackDown, but this consistently NXT, which we'll get to in a little bit here, it's consistently better.
NXT is just bringing out 5-star matches everywhere, but we will get to that in a little bit. What I think we should really talk about is the hype towards Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella. You just see Ronda Rousey breaking out all these savage insults, and the crowd just getting a huge taste out of it. What's your opinion on it?
I think her digs are outstanding. She went in a couple of weeks ago, started talking about whatever she said. It sounded like Kane should have been saying it. This past week was good, though. I love the dig. She's still on the John Cena thing.
I love it. It's like your man kicked you out of his door.
And she says, "I will end you." That's awesome. Ronda's getting better on the mic. Ronda is okay in the ring. I don't like her arm drags. They are hurting people. They're going to hurt people. I don't know yet for sure, but is Alexa Bliss going to be at Evolution? We don't know.
Yeah, because there was a possible injury report with Alexa Bliss, and now it's kind of being thrown up in the air as to if she's going to be at Evolution or not. And if she isn't, what's it going to do to the tag team match? With her
I would guess they're going to insert Alicia Fox into the tag match if that's what they're going to do, because that's what happened in their little Rumble on Monday night backstage during the interview. It was Alicia Fox, and she's also the one, it's the three of them together, the little three musketeers of Bliss, Mickie James, and Alicia Fox. So that's probably what will end up happening should Bliss be unable to perform. What else happened? They showed a Roman clip, announced that Lesnar and Strowman would be a one-on-one match at Crown Jewel for the Universal Championship, the now vacant Universal Championship. What do you think about that?
I want Strowman to win. If Lesnar wins again, the Universal title will be irrelevant again, and no one will care about it. And Brock will get even more heat on him. And we haven't seen Braun Strowman at his fullest potential yet as Universal Champion.
Is this the time? Was he going to get a chance? Probably not a great one anytime soon, with Roman being the guy. Finally got the belt on him, and they were going to roll with it. But now with Roman out, is it time to give Strowman that chance? Is Strowman, with all of this going on with McIntyre and Ziggler, is Strowman a babyface again? Is that decided?
He's acting like a face for heel type reasons. Like, he literally just wants to hurt Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Mm-hmm. But with Lesnar and McIntyre both being heels, him going after the heels sounds a little babyface to me.
Absolutely. Paul Heyman comes to the ring. Very, very heartfelt recognition, respect for Roman Reigns. You could tell that was the real man in the ring at that time when he did that. Said some very nice, respectful things about it. Transitioned nicely into his classic Paul Heyman ways, the way he promotes, with the one-on-one match. I was hoping you would do more.
I didn't know you wanted me to do more. But no, Paul Heyman promotes the match the way Paul Heyman knows how to do it best, and it is awesome every time. Mm-hmm. I mean, along with my client, Brock Lesnar! Here's the one.
It does every time. I love it. Well, during this promo, who walks out? Braun Strowman.
Oh,
He comes out, gives a basic general Braun Strowman promo against Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, but does say in there, he says, we had our differences in the past, but when Roman comes back from beating cancer, he's going to get the first shot.
And I love that about him. And I love that Roman Reigns won't just be irrelevant as soon as he comes back, especially with the Universal Championship, because he had such a hard-fought path to get the Universal Championship. And in my opinion, I thought Roman was a great Universal Champion. Definitely better than Lesnar, which is why I'm kind of pulling for Strowman to come out the win.
Well, when Lesnar first won the championship years ago, everybody liked it. They weren't really concerned with the fact that the belt was not on Raw. Oh, excuse me, not a belt. The title was not on Raw every single week, and it was different. It was cool, no big deal. And then people started getting tired of it, I think, and they were happy to see it on somebody else. Lesnar had that for over a year straight without losing it, yet he defended it 4 times. So it is what it is. So who comes out behind Braun Strowman? But of course, the Monster Hunter himself,
Drew
the
McIntyre.
Scottish psychopath. One of my favorite guys right now, Drew McIntyre. I love Drew McIntyre. Claymore kick.
Definitely. He's definitely bringing his A game back with his latest run in WWE, and I'm actually really liking it. I love it. I love it more than his whole chosen one persona. You know, I think he's doing a great job.
I think by calling him the chosen one back then, it kind of hurt him, honestly. People expected more of him than he was capable. I think what he's doing today is what they were expecting out of him back then, years ago. And he's finally coming to his own. And Drew McIntyre, watch out. That guy he's on it. So we get Claymore kick on Strowman. And off McIntyre goes to the stage. I love it. Very good. All right. What happens after that? Elias. Let me say something about Elias before we move on to anything here. I have not been a fan of Elias. I did not walk with Elias. Now, before you say what is wrong with you, I will say this.
I'm not saying what's wrong with you.
Do you agree?
I do agree. It's getting so annoying that he gets halfway through a song and he gets interrupted.
I mean, it's annoying, and honestly, he doesn't wrestle all that much. He's there for that music purpose. Yet, here's the interesting thing. The last couple of weeks, for some reason, I don't know why, but the man has grown on me, and I'm starting to walk with Elias. I am enjoying him. He's fun. He's fun. I honestly... Did he turn babyface on Monday night?
No, because didn't he face Apollo Crews? Oh, wait, no.
For the Apollo Crews match, he had the problem with Baron Corbin. And what did he take? He takes a fender.
I loved that moment.
He takes a fender, which you know as well as I do. My father would have a heart attack if somebody broke a fender over anyone's back.
Oh.
My father is his grandfather. So, man, what a nice blues riff he had, too. Before all of that started anyway, he's in the ring, plays his music. That blues riff, the crowd was into it. I was into it. I was walking with Elias on Monday night.
Honestly, I think I saw a different side of Elias because he's actually starting to, like, stick it to the man. You know, he's finally sick and tired of getting interrupted every week. And hitting Corbin over the head with a guitar definitely made me kind of have second thoughts about Elias, definitely.
I love it. After this, we have Kurt Angle, and it's a pre-recorded vignette, and he's putting over everybody in the World Cup that's to be held at Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel, by the way, has been officially finally decided will be staying in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of talk about whether it would be moved or not. It's staying. WWE will get their money. So fear not, Vince. You're going to get your cash. Don't worry about it. Let's talk about World Cup real quick, if we can. The World Cup to determine who's the best in the world and why are all 8 competitors American, including Rey Mysterio, who's from San Diego.
You're right about that. So who do you got? You got Kurt Angle. You got Rey Mysterio. You got Hardy. You got Miz. You got Cena. You got who else? Who else you got? You got Randy Orton. You got I feel like
that's how uninteresting it is to me. That's how uninteresting this World Cup is to me. I want to see a World Cup that has people from around the world. Sure, 1, maybe 2 Americans. John Cena, he's in there because he's John Cena. But Rusev. Why Rusev not in this tournament?
Well, because, he's focused on that one day in Milwaukee type thing. But we'll get to that when we get to SmackDown.
That we will. There's just so much talent, so much international talent. You have Rusev. You have Shinsuke Nakamura. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. We have a women's champion. Well, we talked about Ronda Rousey already, so we'll go ahead and move on with that. Fatal 4-Way, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Tamina, and Ember Moon. Could you not care any less about Dana Brooke and Tamina today?
Nope.
Me too. Short match as it should have been. Ember Moon won, as she should have. Entrances weren't even televised for a couple of them.
I love Ember Moon's entrance theme. I love it.
I absolutely do. We talked a bit already about Trish and Lita backstage, and Alicia Fox interrupts, and the attack from behind from Mickie James. No Alexa Bliss. No Alexa Bliss on Raw this Monday. So it gives me more not positive vibes about her health right now and her ability to perform this Sunday in your neck of the woods on Long Island at Evolution. Are you going to Evolution?
What was that?
Are you going to Evolution?
I'm not.
You are not. We try. We try whenever they're in town. For our viewers who don't know us, he is in the New York area where I am from, but I am these days in the Oklahoma area. So we do things. We don't go to the same shows. It's very sad, very sad. Although I did come home for Christmas one year and we went to a show at the Nassau Coliseum together, a house show.
That was a good show. That was a good show.
We had a good time. That was in Seth Rollins' World Championship days.
Yes. Oh, it is Seth Rollins.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about the main event on Monday Night Raw, World Tag Team Championship match. Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre defend against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. What?
No, you talk first before I completely just destroy this main event.
Cool. The match was phenomenal, as it should have been considering it was in the ring. These 4 men put on a show. This is awesome chants. Woo! Well deserved. Sometimes they're not. Most of the time they are, and Monday night they absolutely were, in my opinion. Great back and forth action, exciting false finishes. Really, outside of DX and Elias, is the only time the crowd really seemed into the show.
Yeah, which is a little disappointing.
Well, it's the Providence, Rhode Island crowd is never really known for being extraordinarily outward. They're a good crowd. There are better crowds. So, ref gets knocked out. Strowman shows up, and Strowman goes after McIntyre, of course, and they fight to the back. And then the pin takes place because McIntyre ain't out there to save Ziggy. So we have the brand new tag team champions. Great celebration, and then boom, Dirty Deeds against Seth Rollins. The turn that everybody's been waiting for. Everyone's waiting for this turn.
But no one wants it, though. I don't want another Shield breakup. I guess it makes sense because Roman Reigns is out, and I guess it was a good time to turn on him. But what are they gonna do? they're both Dean and Seth are tag team champions. Are they gonna like do it like John Cena and Shawn Michaels?
I don't know, but that's a pretty good cliffhanger that they left. Usually the good cliffhangers are saved for SmackDown Live lately. You said, was the timing good? That's a very good question. And I don't know. Was the timing good? We all knew it was going to happen, right? And I think that we had a couple of turns. I think we talked earlier about Braun Strowman possibly now being the babyface and why after just having turned heel. Well, they need a new big-time babyface. Roman's gone.
Yup.
You can't rely strictly on the Shield to be it. You need more than just that. Again, everybody knew the Dean Ambrose turn was coming. It was a matter of when. Did they pick this past Monday specifically? I think they picked this past Monday specifically because of the Roman situation. Nobody would expect it. Nobody wants it to happen. They had the feel-good moment. They won the tag championships for Roman, basically. You know, I don't know that they dedicated the match to him or not. They may have said that. And they won it. They won the tag championships, and then the big swerve. It was a very attitude error.
He's like wailing away on him.
He was wailing on him pretty good, and it was look. Seth took an ass whooping. He took a good old fashioned ass whooping.
One of the better ass whoopings that I've seen.
What's that?
One of the better ass whoopings that I've seen.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had a good one. My answer, my response, was the timing right? I say it was.
I think it was too. Because especially with the Roman situation, it's just one unsuspecting moment after another. No one expected Roman Reigns to have leukemia. No one expected Ambrose. I mean, that's actually a lie. Everyone expected Ambrose to turn.
Everyone knew that was coming. Just when would it be? I thought it was going to be a crown jewel. And maybe that was the plan, but then they decided after the Roman announcement that this would be a good time to throw a swerve in there and make everybody freak out. Why would you do that? You heard fans yelling, "Why tonight?"
I know.
When he was going through. And did you notice his exit? Dean
what?
Ambrose's exit was the opposite of a Shield entrance. He went through the crowd, up the stairs, and out.
I did mention that. I think that's just kind of kick to the teeth for the Shield. So especially since the Shield has fallen apart more than they have in the past. They're not going to have Roman for a while, and it's obvious that Dean and Seth aren't seeing eye to eye. So, real question is, when, if anything, will there be another Shield reunion?
Oh, you know that old adage, never say never.
Yeah.
But real good way to end Raw. Remains to be seen what's going to happen with the Raw Tag Team Championships. Let's move on to SmackDown Live. Happened Tuesday night, 23rd, Newark, New Jersey. New Day starts the show. Let me start with this. I watched SmackDown with my 7-year-old daughter, she loves the New Day. She calls them the silly guys. And they're coming down and they're dumping the pancakes out of the cereal box on some fans. And her words, quote, "No fair, are they getting pancakes?"
I love
it. And Big E, what did he say? The Big Show flips back and forth more than a flapjack. I love that line because flapjacks, they're pancakes, so he got a pancake reference in there. But it's so true. The Big Show, constantly. Somebody needs to go back and count and determine exactly how many heel face turns.
I think WWE actually released a video on YouTube, and I think it was counted like 14 times or like 16 times that the Big Show has turned.
Is that all?
I think so.
That's an astronomical number, quite honestly. But for how long he's been with the company, that's it? 14, 15, 16?
One turn a year. One turn every 2 years.
I guess. So Bar and Show come out, and it's Big Show versus Kofi. Squash. Kofi got the snot kicked out of him. 3 choke slams. The teams jump in. Check this out. Teams jump in and start fighting each other. Nobody touches Show, who's in the match. Nobody touches Kofi, who's in the match. But the bell rings.
Honestly, I think it was just a little, still a little confusion of why Big Show did it. Besides the whole, I'm Big Show, I get to turn whenever I want.
Yeah. Well,
definitely
clearly,
people.
the whole thing was set up to show the dominance that the Big Show has and is. Now puts him with the Bar together. They're showing the dominance. They lay out the New Day. See you at Crown Jewel, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Let's have another great tag team match. The Usos versus AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, the rematch from the prior week. Basically the same kind of match. There was an accidental oops between Styles and Bryan, and this was Pele kick this time. Last week it was Bryan accidentally hitting AJ Styles. This week AJ accidentally hits Daniel Bryan. Obvious accident, and afterwards in the back, after they lose the match to the Usos. Well, by the way, before we move on with that, did you notice the end of that match when Jimmy Uso did the frog splash? What he did? Did you happen to see it? In midair.
I think I might have missed it. Yeah, I missed that.
Midair.
I missed that. I did not see that.
Very cool. If you have it on your DVR, go back and watch that. Just for that. He's in midair, and he does this in honor of his cousin, Roman Reigns. So I thought that was very, very cool. Good match. Not long enough, but it made sense, I think, what happened. And in the back afterwards, you had Daniel Bryan. He making a lot of Pinocchio references. He didn't believe him, so everything he was talking about, he was lying.
And he pulls out this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was awesome.
So is he going into this match the heel? Is he playing heel on this?
Honestly, I think he is. Because he was the first one to instigate the accident, and now AJ Styles did the accident. And now Daniel Bryan's mad at him, and he thinks he's lying. So I don't think it's a full 100% heel turn for Daniel Bryan. I think it's just more of a heelish attitude because he wants the WWE Championship.
Who doesn't? I want it. I'm not challenging AJ Styles for it, though. I'll get my ass kicked. So we get to Charlotte. She's at the Performance Center in Orlando talking to the rookies, the rookie women, and giving the inspirational speech, answering questions. And here comes Becky Lynch. Who knew Becky Lynch would be there at the PC? And she interrupts, tells the rookies not to make friends because they will hold them back.
Honestly, I think it was a little different strictly because it was in the Performance Center in front of all the rookies. And Becky Lynch as a heel I love it. I love Becky Lynch as a heel.
Becky Lynch is probably the best female heel I have seen since Moolah. Quite honestly, I mean, we've had some good female heels in the past, but let's be honest, until recently, women's wrestling wasn't taken very seriously by Vince for a very long time. And we've had good heels, but Becky takes the cake for me right now. She says to her, the brawl ensues, which, like you said, was different. I liked it. It was different. It wasn't just another brawl in the ring after another promo. They set it up differently, nicely, to basically tell the same story. But I really liked at the end of the brawl, Charlotte was yelling at her, "Who are you? Who are you?" And Becky just responds, "I'm the women's champ." God, I love it.
I love it. I love Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. She's awesome.
Becky Lynch is awesome. I love Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm. Rusev takes on Aiden English, which I think is premature. It was a very short match, a squash. What does this do to Aiden?
A month later, we wish Aiden English the best in all of his future endeavors.
Yes, sir. I'm with you on that. I don't know. I think they got a little premature on that feud. I think they should have held it out a bit more.
Yeah. Especially since Rusev Day was so over with the crowd.
Oh, it was great. Well, that's basically what it comes down to. That's the MO of WWE booking. Get something stupid over with the crowd and kill it. Whatever is not stupid over with the crowd, shove it down their throats.
Again, Shield.
Miz TV, Rey Mysterio, the returning Rey Mysterio. He's a guest on the show. Miz cuts a promo on winning the World Cup. Tells Rey that he is sorry to disappoint. And Rey says he's disappointed because he thought he was supposed to be on Truth TV.
Oh, my God. I honestly don't know what to make of R-Truth. Because one moment, it's just like, really, Truth? Are you that stupid? And another one is actually kind of funny. Like, the dance-off on SmackDown 1000, I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit.
I agree. How do you start off your big 1000th episode of the show with Carmella? It was weak. It was weak, I thought.
Man, at least the fans were getting down to it.
Vince did get down to it. He did get down to it. So, this, of course, we get a match. Basic match, you got two competitors in there, two good competitors in there. I've always been a fan of The Miz. A lot of people took a while to warm up to him. I've always liked The Miz. You can ask anybody I know that knows and follows wrestling with me. I have always been a fan of The Miz. I think he's really, really coming to his own, and they need to step him up.
Oh, my God. I don't like when he's a face. When he's a heel, he could be one of the greatest heels ever. Mm-hmm. I hate babyface Miz.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Mysterio won that match. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Then what do we got? We got Naomi and Asuka versus Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, or as Corey Graves calls her, God's greatest creation.
Oh, my God.
Pretty close to accurate. The Iconics come out.
That I accidentally once met Sonya Deville, and she was the biggest dick to me ever.
Sonya Deville?
Yeah. So
I have not heard the story. Please tell it.
So me, my dad, my sister, my stepmom, and my stepbrother, we were in Florida, and we went to a live NXT event. And a majority of the NXT stars were like kind of lingering around with the crowd. I met a lot of people. I met Liv Morgan. I met Oni Lorcan. I met Heavy Machinery. I met Aleister Black. I met what's her name? The other girl from Riot Squad, not Ruby Riot.
Sarah Logan.
Yes, her. I met her. I met Street Profits. In case if you don't know, that's a tag team in the NXT division. And I met someone else. I accidentally met Kevin Owens there too.
All right. I met the Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
But no, Sonya Deville comes out and she's like, she's all hooded. She's, this big tough black guy.
Roll on, brother.
I did not mean to say that. Big tough bad guy. Oh, I can't believe I said that. This big tough bad guy. And I'm like, oh my God, Sonya Deville, I'm such a huge fan. And she just hides away and just walks on. And I was like, okay, bye.
Maybe she was sick. I don't know. That's disappointing. I don't like to ever hear anybody like that.
Maybe she's just sticking to the heel character.
Maybe it was a bad day. Maybe next opportunity will be a better one. The Iconics come out. Can somebody please shut them up?
No. I love the Iconics. I love everything about them, especially their accent. Australian accents, bro.
I like their accents. I hate their voices. They just talk like this all the time, and it's really, really annoying. They may as well have Leo Rush come out with them.
Yeah, but don't forget, back in NXT, they were awesome. Have they fallen a little short sometimes in the main roster? Yes, but that doesn't...
Of course they have. They're NXT talent.
But that doesn't totally degrade them out of being possible future stars in WWE. I have complete faith in the Iconics.
I hope so, because they're excellent athletes. They are very, very good athletes. And
right. I love Peyton.
Their gimmick right now, I'm just not a fan. It's annoying.
I can see where you're coming from, but I love Peyton Royce. I think Peyton Royce is definitely better than Billy Kay. I'm not saying Billy Kay is an awful person. Just
When the Iconics eventually break up, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when the Iconics finally break up, because they will, it's a WWE, and all teams break up eventually, Peyton Royce will be that successful star, and Billy Kay will dwindle into the moonlight. You're talking, this is a big comparison, but Peyton Royce is the Shawn Michaels of the Rockers, while Billy Kay is the Marty Jannetty of the Rockers, if that makes sense.
Definitely. I totally understand where you're coming from.
Lana comes out after the Iconics. All she says is Happy Lana Day, and now comes Carmella. We have a dance break, which is so rudely interrupted by Zelina Vega.
I love Zelina Vega.
I am a fan of Zelina Vega, and pairing her with Cien Almas.
I love Andrade.
I'm a fan. A brawl ensues, promotes the... I'm trying to find the right word for this battle royal. This waste of time. We need to get you on camera for the event somehow or another, battle royal. That really means nothing. It doesn't mean nothing. I guess the winner is supposed to receive a championship match. So please, one of two people need to win. One of three people need to win this battle royal. Asuka, Naomi, Ember Moon.
I'm down with all those guys except Naomi. I don't. She's kind of irrelevant now. She's kind of fading.
She is, and this would be something to make her relevant again. Not everybody who becomes irrelevant stays irrelevant, and I think Naomi is too good a talent to keep in the irrelevance pattern that she's on.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I think it would totally benefit Ember Moon the most out of those three that you just mentioned.
Well, would it? Or do we really need to pull Asuka out of that irrelevance plateau that she's on too?
Make her a number one contender somehow.
Somehow? Maybe a heel turn?
An Asuka heel turn.
Who knows? We can see. Shane O'Mac, he comes out, he promotes Evolution and Crown Jewel, and while talking about the World Cup, the crowd starts to CM Punk chant. Happens from time to time, but this time it was acknowledged. And all he said was, I don't think he's in the tournament.
It's like, nah.
It was a weak chant, but interesting that it's coming up.
Like, no, I don't think he's in the tournament.
Best in the world is what CM Punk claimed to be. It's also what Jericho claimed to be, and I would tend to agree. He's the best in the world. Oh, yeah. No Jericho chants, though. Then we had Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. Is this feud not done?
Evidently, no.
Well, they're both in the World Cup, and that's what they are.
I was about to say, you got both of them in the World Cup. Obviously, it'll, I guess, kind of re-spark that rivalry. But I'm not going to lie. I love their rivalry. I love how sadistic Orton became, just picking out Jeff's ear, the screwdriver. Their Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell was awesome. I thought Jeff was going to die like 7 times. But as usual, nah. He just barely dies.
Just barely died. Yet the rest of him was alive. So that's good news. Pretty good match. Hardy took some hard bumps. That back of the head to the stairs, the Miss Swanton on the floor.
Oh my God. Jeff Hardy has taken some of the nastiest bumps ever. Again, going back to the Hell in a Cell match, where he was hanging on top of the Hell in a Cell, that McDonald's playground looking Hell in a Cell.
Oh, I hate that red cell.
Props. I hate the red cell. It looks like McDonald's playground.
You know, it's interesting because I said years ago that Jeff Hardy would have a short career. Just because of what he does, it's very hard on the body. And his career has now officially outlasted Matt's.
Yeah, really, when you think about it, Matt is officially done.
He's done. He's working in the back, and he's a great hand to have in the back, too, to help get these younger guys. How about NXT this week?
Oh my God, NXT! I'm not gonna start with what most people are thinking about when it comes to NXT.
Don't start with the end.
I'm starting from the end. I'm starting from the beginning, middle-ish, where we are going to have
the Undisputed Era.
We have the Undisputed Era finally back to full strength with Bobby Fish coming back. But what does this mean for people like, say, Adam Cole, EC3? Who else we have? Ricochet, especially Ricochet, with Adam Cole still kind of needing his rematch for the North American Championship.
Which EC3 came out and said he didn't deserve, which, of course, sparked a match.
And, of course, it was good, because that's what NXT does. They don't matches. Of course, it was a good match.
What a match. Oh, it was fantastic. Cole, I'm a huge Adam Cole fan. He's the guy I say reminds me most of a Shawn Michaels. Baby, I see you. Outstanding match. EC3 comes out with the victory. Man, what a great match.
Yeah. And after that, we got a promo awaiting the long-awaited debut of Matt Riddle. For those of you who don't know, Matt Riddle was an awesome indie star. He was awesome in New Japan. He was awesome out in all those other indie promotions. But I can definitely think that Matt Riddle will definitely be something coming to NXT. And especially when he comes to the main roster. Oh, my God.
You know what? For all those talented people down in NXT and in the Indies, I don't look forward to their main roster debut because of what the Tyler Breeze effect is what I like to call it. Because Tyler Breeze was that amazing star who the second he hit the main roster was garbage.
I hated that they did that. They did that with Neville, too. Until his recent cruiserweight run, Neville was nowhere near relevant. Near relevant.
Not at all. Not at all. But it's, I say that I'm more into watching Raw and SmackDown than I get to NXT. Though I love NXT, I think it's a much better product. After TakeOver and Adam Cole lost the North American Championship to Ricochet, I said to my family, I said, he's showing up on Raw tomorrow night, Monday night. Didn't happen, obviously. Well, it was SummerSlam time, and in years past, they've had NXT call-ups after SummerSlam, just like they do after WrestleMania. Yeah, so I thought Adam Cole was coming up because he did the honors to Ricochet.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. What do you think of their tag team division?
Tag team division is pretty stout, and again, it's something that I worry about when it comes up to the main roster. You look at the AOP. You look at Sanity. Who's looking at Sanity? You don't see Sanity. At least you see AOP.
Yeah. Where the hell is Sanity at, though?
I don't know. So Nikki Cross, she came out laughing, saying he's coming to the security guards that were there in the beginning of the show. Nikki Cross is fun. I enjoy her. We had the NXT debut of Mia Yim.
Oh my God.
This is talent. Man, I have been watching both seasons of the Mae Young Classic. Mia Yim has been involved in both. She is very good. She is very good.
Huge fan of Mia Yim.
Aaliyah was her opponent. Whatever. I mean, the match was exactly what I expected it to be because it was that debut match for Mia Yim, who was very excited. She's yelling into the camera here. This is my time now. So she's one to watch for sure.
Especially Mia Yim.
Mm-hmm. The other end of it, you have Bianca Belair complaining to Regal that she's undefeated and wants her title shot. I understand that. If you're undefeated, you want a title shot. I'm just not a fan of Bianca Belair.
No, I mean, in my opinion, she's like the Miz. A total just whiny, moany, bitchy person. But she does not put up half-ass matches. She really doesn't.
No, I mean her hair. She whips people with her hair, which is a cool thing. It's a cool gimmick. that's all she's got, in my opinion. That's really all she's got for going for her. She's not that amazing. I would much rather watch Sasha Banks every night than her. That's just me. So we had a promo vignette for Lacey Evans. Last year, she was in the Mae Young Classic.
Yes.
Didn't do a lot for me, but I can see the potential. So it'd be fun to see her coming on up. Have you seen her?
Very few times, but out of those very few times, she's
about that good, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they have in store for her. Justin Xavier, I don't know who that guy is, but Cassius Ohno whooped the crap out of him.
Where has Cassius Ohno been?
I don't remember. Was he hurt?
I remember one time it was, oh my God, who was it? It was Cassius Ohno. It was Cassius Ohno, No Way Jose, Roderick Strowman, and Ruby Riott versus, I want to say Sanity. Because this was maybe a year or two ago. So there was a point in the match where it looked like Cassius Ohno was going to go for a suicide dive or a dive over the ropes. But no.
That boy's too big to be doing that.
Yeah, that too. But no. The guy moves out of the way and he leaps over the ropes, does a handstand on the apron, and lands perfectly on the floor. And from that moment on, I was like, you know what? This Cassius Ohno guy, I like him. I like him.
Well, he was pretty big and famous before he reached NXT, so everybody was very well familiar with Cassius Ohno and his abilities.
Yeah.
So he wins. Nikki Cross comes out. She's telling him he's coming. He's coming. He's saying, it wasn't me. Wasn't me. And then, well, I'll let you talk about this segment because I know you're dying, chomping at the bit for this.
Yes. This man, Aleister Black. What a god. What a god. I love Aleister Black. I love everything about him. I love his rock and roll kind of persona, kind of attitude. The middle of a Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair match, lights go out. This man, Aleister Black, is just sitting in the middle of the ring, crisscross. And hey, speaking of crisscross, we got Nikki Cross. She, does her little Harley Quinn sadistic laugh. This man, Aleister Black, says, "Who hit me?" And I was honestly thinking for a moment, is Aleister Black really thinking that Nikki Cross did it? And then, the following week, this man, Johnny Gargano.
Well, let's set it up. You had William Regal. He comes out there. He's going to announce who's going to face Ciampa at the next TakeOver War Games event, which I love War Games. We won't even go into that right now. We'll get there when the time comes. But he doesn't have time to say anything. Ciampa comes out. He wants to know who it is. Out comes the Velveteen Dream. This guy's funny. I enjoy him. Lars Sullivan comes out. And Velveteen Dream says, if you're going to talk to me, you're going to put on some pants. I got a good chuckle out of it. And then it cuts to the loading dock where all the security officers are. And there is one Aleister Black.
Yup.
Basically killing everybody.
And then what?
Basically
What was that?
killing everybody. Unbelievable. So he comes out, and here comes a super kick from Johnny Wrestling. This makes you bite your strings. Okay, that's fun. Awesome cliffhanger. NXT is head and shoulders above the main roster. I mean, just good Lord.
This man, Johnny Gargano, possibly one of the most surprising heel turns in recent memory.
It needs to happen.
Now, was that?
It needs to happen every now and then. You got to have that shock heel turn. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It worked with The Rock. Did not work with Stone Cold. But those were the shocking turns. Survivor Series 1998 was one of the greatest heel turns I've ever seen of The Rock. It was fantastic.
But yeah, overall NXT, as usual, better than the main event. Better than the main roster, I should say.
So let's talk about Evolution. This is the last thing that we've got on here. Evolution, the first ever all-women's pay-per-view coming from the Nassau Coliseum, your neck of the woods. The first thing I want to mention about it as a possibility, did you happen to notice on Raw and SmackDown all the signs saying we want women's tag team championships?
See, I don't know about that because tag team-wise, the women's division doesn't really add up. I love the women's division, especially now in the recent 3 years. The women's division has came so far. But who do you have for tag teams? You have the Bella Twins, you have the Riot Squad. What's you going to go back and forth between them?
Absolution. Well, look, it's going to be basic WWE booking. They're going to take some of the women and they're going to put them together. If this is indeed what happens, and I believe it is going to happen, they're going to peanut butter and jelly some people together, and they're going to try to make some noise out of it, I think. Do I think these titles are needed? I don't know if they're needed, but they can't hurt. Because if you're not in the World Championship picture, whether you're on Raw or if you're on SmackDown, where are you? We talked about it earlier. You're kind of relegated down. You become a little bit irrelevant. When you can pair a Naomi and an Asuka together and put the tag titles on them, and now they have some relevance to them. They have other feuds that mean something, and they're not just building their way up.
Yeah, well, just like... For me, women's tag team titles will kind of be like the Universal Championship. I don't know what it'll be like until I see it. Just so happens to be with the Universal Championship that I don't like it.
Who says you have to? I don't say that. So let's talk about the card and give our individual predictions, okay? Right. Should we start at the top?
There was one match that really caught my eye. Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler.
Okay.
We got an NXT women's title match on a regular WWE event roster, like match card. And honestly, that's really good for the NXT women's division. So I honestly think it'll be really good to see Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane.
That should be a good match. I am a little tired of it. These two
really?
have been feuding for a while. Since last year's Mae Young Classic, realistically, they were the finals. And Shayna Baszler made her way to NXT. She got the championship there. Kairi Sane got the championship from Shayna Baszler. Going to be a good match, no doubt about it. I'm a little tired of it. I think the women of NXT, it's time for somebody else.
Honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Shayna Baszler.
I don't know, Mia Yim. Nah, she hasn't paid her dues, but she paid her dues in the business, just not in NXT. We'll see. Who do you think is going to win that match?
Between who?
Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler. She has that MMA background. She's got Ronda Rousey as her friend. And honestly, Kairi Sane is just kind of like a little ditzy.
I would agree with you. I think Baszler is going to come out on top of this. We're going to have a new NXT Women's Champion. Yeah, I agree. Sticking with the Mae Young Classic thing, that is also happening at Evolution. It's going to be the finals of the Mae Young Classic. Io Shirai takes on Toni Storm. And holy cow, can I just tell you how much I love Toni Storm.
Toni Storm is definitely one of those fan favorites to win the whole entire thing. And honestly, I think she's going to win. I love Toni Storm.
I agree. I think Toni Storm's going to win. She came so close last year to winning the Mae Young Classic. Hugely over with the fans. If you have heard, if you have watched any of this year's Mae Young Classic, they are all about Toni Storm.
I love Toni Storm. I really hope Toni Storm wins.
So we both picked Toni Storm. I like it. NXT UK Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley and Isla Dawn. I'm going with Ripley on this one. I'm going with Ripley because she too, like Toni Storm. What's that?
This is the first I'm hearing about an NXT UK Women's Championship.
Well, there it is. You heard it here first, my friend.
I did.
Rhea Ripley, she is also, she's basically in the same boat as the Toni Storm, an amazing talent. Win the Mae Young Classic for both seasons, got further this year than did last. She is the one who, if you're familiar with what's going on in Mae Young Classic, she's the one in the ring with Tegan Knox when her knee basically exploded. I think Rhea Ripley is going to win this match, basically a consolation for not winning the Mae Young Classic. I think they're going to put that NXT UK Women's Championship on Rhea Ripley.
I mean, according to you, it looks like this Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she sounds good.
I'm
not going to deny that. So, with her being good, I hope they don't waste their time with this UK Women's title.
All right, let's talk about we need to get you some TV time Battle Royal. I wrote down all of the participants that I could see in the picture. I don't know for sure that they were all who's in it. We have Tamina, Molly Holly, Carmella, Naomi, Alundra Blaze, Michelle McCool, Alicia Fox, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Tori Wilson, Maria Kanellis, Ivory, Nia Jax, Kelly, Selena Vega, Asuka, Ember Moon, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Lana, and Dana Brooke. If Asuka or Ember Moon do not win this match, I quit. I just don't know what I'm quitting, but I will quit.
I mean Kelly though. I love Kelly.
Kelly got no business winning this Battle Royal. If the winner of the Battle Royal, if she gets a chance at a Women's Championship belt, no. Kelly, no.
I mean, no. I honestly wouldn't be disappointed if she won.
You know, I would. I'm picking Ember Moon on this. I originally picked Asuka, but she won the Royal Rumble. So I think I'm going to go with Ember Moon to win the Battle Royal.
Is Nia Jax in the Royal Rumble?
She is in this Battle Royal, and I don't care. Really? I am not a fan of Nia Jax. I think she's dull. I don't think she's that good. She hurt Alexa Bliss first, and then Ronda Rousey made it worse.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But honestly, I'm either rooting for Ember Moon or Nia Jax.
But who do you think is going to win? Pick one.
The only reason I'm saying Nia Jax is because Ember got the win this past Monday night on Raw, and we know how that usually is. Whoever builds up the most towards the pay-per-view ends up losing. So I think I'm going to go with Nia Jax on this one.
Okay. All right. What else do we have? We have Bayley, Natalya, and Sasha Banks against the Riot Squad.
Honestly, this is so done out. I don't like it. It's getting boring, especially with the same three people against the Riot Squad. Team Sasha is probably going to win, and, Riot Squad is just going to, go do them. But honestly, it's getting played out. It's getting boring, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I disagree with your pick. I'm going Riot Squad because maybe Sasha or Bayley heel turn that I've been waiting so long for.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay. I've heard no rumor to the effect of a heel turn from anybody. It's just something I'm kind of hoping for. I think it needs to. All right. Last woman standing, Becky Lynch and Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I'm going with Becky. I want Becky to win. I love Charlotte Flair, but heel Becky Lynch has blown me away.
I 100% agree. 100% agree with your pick, your reasons. She's blown me away. She needs to keep that title on her. I think a title change needs to happen at Evolution, and I think it's going to happen in the NXT Women's Championship match. And that's the only place I think it's going to happen. Because Ronda Rousey, Nikki Bella, I don't see Nikki Bella winning that match either. I think Rousey, they're putting a lot of eggs into that basket, and I don't think that Nikki Bella is here for the long haul. I think she's just temporarily, if that makes sense. And after Evolution, the Bellas were brought back in for Evolution. There's no doubt about it. And I don't see them doing a whole lot more, if anything else, after Evolution.
I'll honestly be shocked if Nikki wins.
Yeah, you and me both.
I will be so shocked if Nikki wins.
All right. And finally, we will talk Lita and Trish Stratus against Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Alexa Bliss, is she hurt? Will she be able to be there?
I honestly hope that she is. I want. It's one of those things.
My Echo Dot just talked to me because I said that first name of Bliss.
It's kind of one of those things that I think is going to happen that I don't really want to happen. Kind of like with the Dean Ambrose heel turn. I really want Alexa Bliss to show up at Evolution, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I don't think it matters who it is, whether it's Alexa Bliss or Alicia Fox teaming with Mickie James. I think Lita and Trish are coming out on top on this. It's a throwaway match. It has absolutely no. It's got nothing after it. There's nothing to do after it. You got two Hall of Famers teaming up who have no contract to continue on. It's just a throwaway match to get a couple of Hall of Famers who, by the way, I love. That's just a way to get them on and not bury them in that battle royal. So I'm picking Lita and Trish, regardless of whether or not Bliss is able to be there.
I am also picking Lita and Trish, but not for that reason. Only because I'm saying Lita and Trish because, they're the legends coming back, and I'm willing to bet that it's the main event. So,
I'm not. You will see Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella last on Sunday night. Mark my words. Yes. Rousey Bella will be the last match on Sunday night. That's my pick. All right.
I think Trish and Lita are main eventing.
All right. Well, that's Evolution. Those are our predictions. We'll talk about it next week, and along with the rest of the cards throughout the week.
Hell yeah.
That's all I got. How about you, brother?
I'm honestly more excited with WWE than I have been in a while. I honestly think their talent is definitely better than they were before. Raw is a little I love SmackDown. I love NXT. I still love Raw, just not as much as SmackDown and NXT. But honestly, I'm really hype, and I honestly can't wait to see what they have in store next.
Big week of wrestling coming up, and we will talk about it next week. It's the BellTap Wrestling Video Podcast. Mike, it was good talking with you. Always a pleasure talking with you. I will talk to you soon, and that's a wrap for tonight.